want to welcome you to Around the Globe with Dr. G. We are in this beautiful city in St. Louis, Senegal. We're right downtown here at the first capital of Senegal. We are in the same journey of this series called Africa Arising. This is part 2 in Senegal. When I think about arising, I think about the words of the Apostle Paul in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14. He says, "Arise, you who sleep, awake from the dead, and Christ will give you light." Wow. When I think about those words, I think about the life of the apostle himself. There was a time when he was on the road to Damascus. On the road to Damascus, at that time he was still asleep. And the Lord met him on the road to Damascus, and there was a bright light that came upon him and a voice. Now, there were other people around him, but he heard the voice. "Saul, why are you persecuting me?" And at that time, there was a mighty transformation that took place in his life. At that very time, at that very moment, when the Lord confronted him and the Lord met with him and the Lord visited him, Apostle Paul had an experience of arising from the thoughts that he had had before. See, before, the apostle himself was a persecutor of Christians. He went about persecuting and jailing Christians. But there was a time in his life when he had a visitation. That was the time of his arising. He had been asleep for many years. He thought he was going in the right direction. He thought he was doing the right thing. He thought his perspectives and education was leading him the right way. But until he had a visitation by the Lord himself, he began to awake. That visitation happened in one day. Many years the man himself had been asleep, but it was one day of visitation, and his spirit was awoken. Wow. The same thing that happened to the Apostle Paul can happen to you and I. It is possible for a person to be asleep for many, many years. One encounter, one visitation, one day of transformation, and a whole life of a person can change. Are you open to that possibility? Are you open to the possibility of a divine visitation? Do you believe that such can happen? That your spirit can actually arise and you can awake to the things of the Lord? Hey, we're in this beautiful city, St. Louis, in Senegal. This is Around the Globe with Dr. G. Perfect.